So here we are again with the Center for Earth Education and Learning. The speaker series live. And today I have the pleasure again to speak with Peter. Peter Maxwell Slattery. Peter, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Henning. Good to be doing this again, mate, as always.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. And it's a pleasure. And I think this is absolutely vital and, again, hopefully beneficial for so many, hopefully for all. And the topic for today is alignment, and somehow on purpose I got it to call it the Great Alignment. And this time it's three things again, kind of questions in a moment to speak about. And the first one is Mother Earth. And just a little primer from my side. My own experience tells me with, or showed me with, I would say, absolute certainty, Mother Earth is a very loving being. So Peter, what is your experience and your thoughts on Mother Earth?
In terms of alignment with Mother Earth, we could say, or Mother Earth itself?
No, first just how is your connection, how you feel, if there is something, how you get also maybe messages from Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. Into the alignment piece, I will get in a second.
No worries. So, Henning, Mother Earth is an intelligent being, of course, and the ancients know this. And, of course, extraterrestrials, with their own planetary bodies, they've got a connection with their own planets as well. They are conscious, meaning the planetary bodies, even the stars are, even the satellites are, the moons, and what have you. It's something that I do regularly throughout the day, not just for grounding benefits, though there is science behind the physical and we could say psychological and emotional benefits of grounding and connecting with Mother Earth. But even just gratitude and sending love to Mother Earth and communing with Mother Earth, and even doing that through the touch of a tree, not just interfacing with that tree or a plant or a rose or a flower or what have you, that's got the roots going into the ground, and they can be amplifiers, and we could say use them as an amplifier conduit when connecting with Mother Earth. And through that process, there is clarity, but also a love that comes back through just the thought and the feeling and the thought projection, the thought transfer to Mother Earth of love and gratitude and thanks is something that, yeah, I do it on a regular basis throughout the day. I make sure I at least have a ritual of doing it in the morning, sometime throughout the day at the very least, and then again in the evening. So it's something that I think, like for me, I think somebody on this journey will naturally start to do. They start to see how not only is everything in nature alive and how everything is interconnected, but you know how we're connected to Mother Earth as well. It's a aspect of that whole interconnectedness. So yeah, that's just my perspective with it. It's something that I personally do and have a personal relationship with Mother Earth, just as some might have it with Father Sky, or they might see the sun and call that Father, or the universe. I sort of try to use everything, not just Father Sky or Father Sun, as some do that, and some ancient cultures have that saying. But I see, personally for me, there's Mother Earth, and then there's the universe, which everything has the masculine and feminine component. And there is different layers. I could go into that further as well, because you might even see just the spirit or the one consciousness, the Holy Spirit, some call that, might see that as the feminine energy, and then the Father and the Son, the Trinity. There's different ways that this can be looked at. But for me, I've got the connection to Source, and I've got the connection to Earth, just to anchor that, to help ground me as well, because I'm such an energetic person. So I hope that answers your question anyway, Henning.
Yeah, thank you for providing your perspective and experience. And to what you mentioned, I would say ultimately there's almost kind of no distinction between what is the relation, if we call it like that, with Mother Earth, or the experience with Mother Earth, and what is then the kind of question around what is the alignment maybe with Mother Earth. In other words, we could maybe say we could even experience a resonance with Mother Earth, or again the connection, some kind of response from Mother Earth, or again feel, I would say in the kind of best way how to describe it, feel an alignment with Mother Earth, or feel to be in alignment with Mother Earth. So from that perspective, anything maybe to add, Peter?
Yeah, that's what I would say is the communication part. Now, even when I'm communicating, or in some of the written material or contacts, it is a conglomerate of many different things. In some cases, the Elohim, the angelics, different variations and different types of extraterrestrial intelligences, transdimensional intelligences. And Mother Earth is one of those intelligences at times, just like there might be inner earth beings as well as the nature spirits and the elementals and what have you. I think from personal experience and helping a lot of people, even through my own contacts and communication, there is a situation of throwing the stone to the side. And what I mean by throwing the stone to the side would be that there is communication and a knowingness coming from Mother Earth, and this is going into the communication that I do have with Mother Earth at times when communing, just like I commune with the divine or the higher self and what have you, and that is all the crap that's being done to the Earth. Now, we all know it. We know that this Earth, Mother Earth, has a lifespan that's not forever, just like the sun. And we're in a situation of dire straits in terms of environmental factors and what have you, and there's science for and against. I'm not one of these people that go into all that, because to me there's a bigger picture. But it comes down to, like the old saying with treating others, how you want to be treated. Treat Mother Earth how you would like to be treated. We are on this beautiful being, this intelligent living being. In some ways we are raping this intelligent being. We are spitting on it. We are throwing garbage on this being. It's alive. So it comes down to, well, like I said before, we're throwing that stone to the side of, we've got a situation here, but I actually want to throw that stone away from me so I don't have it in my peripheral vision even, to where it's on my radar, the problem that we've got at hand, that it gets to a point that, no, you've got to deal with it, just like your own traumas and wrong conclusions and issues and even good things. We've always got to eventually get to the point of, we've got to deal with it. And Mother Earth is strong, it's powerful, it's got multi-dimensional aspects to it, just like we all do, as we've got different layers to our own light body. And it's an ascending being. And there's either a way that you can resonate with it and be in alignment with it, or not. And it doesn't mean that you're a good or bad person. I want to throw that out the window for a moment, because people are going to be experiencing what they need to. We're all different cells that left Source to experience itself, and we've all got a different journey within that. And we've all got a lot that we can contribute from our own pinpoint of awareness within that. But alignment, it is ascension alignment, we could say. Do your actions your words and what you do in private, and your thoughts even, and your feelings, things that you don't even speak, in alignment with ascension. So when we talk about Mother Earth, is it something like what do you do with your waste and your garbage? What things can you do to limit, we could say, pollution? And do you pay respects and give love to Mother Earth for being on this intelligent being? Do you harmonise with it, which is through connecting with it? You could look at the alignment in many different aspects, but it does come down to, do your words and your actions help Mother Earth, or are they against Mother Earth, we could say? You could say there's a little bit, I'm doing some good and I'm doing some bad, but it's getting to a point that it's like we haven't got time to be fence sitting here even. And so it's like we could say even things like solar, but then you look at the lithium ion batteries and how that's happening. Like, you could nitpick anything. You can't pin anything exactly down and go, this is 100% in certain ways. Because we do have a society now based a lot digitally, which is, we could say, with the frequency is not the best thing either. But with that said, we do have a world that's still raping Mother Earth for minerals and what have you to produce certain things when we don't need to. I know we don't need to, because I've seen the evidence and in some cases had the evidence, and I can't say much more, that we do not need to be doing things now that is really over 100-year-old technology, though a lot will say it's new, and we could say, well, it's minimising the impact, this and that. So I think as we more get online with going, look, we've got to deal with this situation, the more we can push through that. But there is an ascension process that can be an overnight thing, to where a lot of what I'm talking about now won't matter in the future. Because when this all starts to come into fruition through alignment. Now, what I mean by alignment in this terminology is, people were saying to me years ago, like, when's the shift happening, this and that. I've been writing about this shift for nearly a decade and a half. And others have before me, of course, that I found out later. It was all just through my own contacts. I wasn't even understanding a lot of it. What I mean by this, meaning alignment, is that you could be at a frequency here. Let's say for manifesting, you want to manifest something, and the other thing is about this resonate, like it's resonating up here and you're here. But once the two start to come into alignment, boom, what you're putting out for, you've now got. It wasn't anywhere, you just had to resonate with it, right? So, in terms of this ascension process and this shift that's going on, we could even say disclosure, which has got many facets to it. I've been saying for many years, we could have ascension most likely in about 50 years' time, which will be full blown. And I mean, this is a slow rollout. Of course, there's extraterrestrial awareness, or that there's, at the moment, there's these UAPs, and then they'll start to look into different areas, which is a lot more layered than physical extraterrestrials. So that is a part of it, like I've experienced myself. But like I say, even the ETs have to deal with spirit. They've got spirits to them on their planetary bodies and what have you. But as we're going through this ascension process, if we became in an alignment with each other overnight, that 50 years could be crunched down literally to seconds, to where even through the group collective consciousness, roads and electrical grids and everything could be dissolved. And we could say, depending on the level of ascension we want to go to, like I've been to worlds physically, right, to where what much Michio Kaku, I believe his name is, would say is a stage 3 civilization, they would look like a stage 0, nothing. Why? Because they don't need nothing. They don't need a grid. They don't need things to weigh and structures like they once did, because now they've ascended to a level that their technology is the inner technology. So depending on what you're aligning with is what you'll achieve. But if we aligned with each other and accepted the differences, embraced that we're all humans, and seen that as the common quality, we could transcend a lot of this overnight. So the alignment has many, many different facets to it. Many different facets to it. I hope that answers your question anyway, Henning. I've gone on a tangent, left, right, centre, up, down, and reverse, so...
No, thank you, Peter. And I, with the kind of second question, I want to just highlight an aspect some may have heard about, and just to bring clarity to that aspect too. So it's about religion, and specifically what we can say the highest representatives of religions, and how much they are aligned. Jesus, a Buddha, or others. With one more disclaimer, from my perspective, the first time I heard that was, again, from someone I mentioned in prior recordings, again, James Gilliland. He said they are all aligned. So, Peter, the question is just then from me to you, how can you summarize that?
Well, I think when it comes to the disclosure process, like the different various races and beings that I've interfaced with, there's a commonality that they believe in a creator or a god, whatever you want to term it, that is seen from the same way. And then let's say there's different ways you can look at this, like India, they've got the different avatars and the gods of specific things that help with specific areas. For some, they might, in other cultures or ways, might say it, if we want to use it in these terms, is a certain ascended masters that come and assist from behind the scenes. Like you got Kuan Yin, which is different from all that, but Kuan Yin is the protector of children and goddess of compassion. And then you got other beings in different cultures like Lakshmi that's got to help with a specific area and what have you, right? The commonality we've all got is that, one, we're all human, and two, there is a driving factor not just behind Earth civilizations now and going back millennia, also going off to off-world, that they believe in a god or a creator. In the Star Nations, it is respected other cultures for their differences, their customs, their ways, unless it's something that's absolutely vile, which you can imagine what that would be in terms of whether it's sacrificing or children stuff and what have you. So there is a line that needs to be drawn, because there is qualifications to a certain point to be part of, we could say, councils or federations, that you have to meet a certain level of criteria, not out of judgment, but there comes a point that there's universal law, there's customs, and all these things need to be met. And if other cultures aren't meeting that, doesn't mean they can't down the track be part of something, but it all depends on one civilization and where they're at. Now, you hear about, for example, Dr. Gray many years ago at the Vatican talking to Monsignor Balducci, that apparently, if my memory is correct, that even the Vatican say that extraterrestrials would be children of God as well. You've even got the Quran, don't quote me here, but talking about Allah being the creator or the ruler of many worlds. So you've got, I forget, the people will know who Oppenheimer talking about, quoting, I think it was a Mahabharata, with a being in that, quoting the destroyer of many worlds. You've got all these different cultures, whether Aboriginal in Australia, Native American, it doesn't matter where you go, there is a connection to a creator. And so what it is that I'm saying here, that I find with extraterrestrials, and even with who I'm interfacing with, whether it's going to the Elohim Representative Council, or talking to various councils that are offshoots from that, and some are a lot more in alignment with our frequency 3D, they focus on the commonalities. The commonality is we all believe that there's a creator. if we can just focus on the commonalities and not the intricate parts, but just be okay that somebody's different from us, somebody's got a different colour of skin, they've got a different belief. If we can just focus that we're human, or we're living beings, citizens of this universe, if we can just focus on that and we just want to all be treated how we want to, how we treat others, vice versa. That's where an alignment can come for an elevation in consciousness. Again, not focusing on the differences, but focusing on the commonalities. We're not all going to get along. People within their own religion don't get along. And I think it's going beyond a point eventually that what happens is that you get beyond religion and you get to spirituality. And once you get to spirituality, which I don't want to rock too many boats here, but let me just put this simplistically, is you start to realise it's all connected. Like in the Quran, you've got Gabriel, or we've got Gabriel in the Judeo-Christian Bible. You've got angels talked about in other cultures. You've got the dakinis in the Tibetan culture, which are, we could say, like female angels. You've got these avatars, gods, goddesses, nature spirits, elementals, ascended masters, from here and elsewhere. Once you start to get into the spiritual perspective and you start to see that everything is connected, everything are different cells in God's mind experiencing itself, you start to realise the illusion for what it is, but it's all about soul evolution. And that what's been a driving fact are the negative times and the traumatic times to elevate, if people can elevate through that and learn about themselves and own themselves in whether it's relationships or something where they screwed up, just like that should be done on a collective level or a government level or a council level, like it is even with galactic councils. They're not perfect either. So again, I've gone on a bit of a tangent, but it's all about the commonalities. We're never going to be 100% in agreement. Two people can't be. People within their own religion can't be. People within their own country can't be. People on their own planet can't be. I can go on and on. But if we compromise, if we have gratitude, respect, compassion, and to an extent non-judgment, as long as things aren't crossing universal law, maybe if we just shut up for a moment, we can learn something from another, is my point with that.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. I just want to highlight what you said earlier or here and there again. There will be this moment or these moments where it's just a knowing. We all get to that moment or that insight or that realization. And then the third area or third aspect I still wanted to cover in terms of alignment. And it's to be in alignment with Source. And also here a little extra from my perspective. And by the way, I said it before, and many others also. But I just want to add it here. I think it's a no-brainer. It's something, it will happen. And in other words, it is all coming together. But in any case, Peter, what are your thoughts about alignment, or us or one to be in alignment with Source?
I think we do it every day, And because people aren't educated on their inner mechanics, their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, they've got no friggin' idea. I get a message over and over for people when I'm helping them in appointments and what have you. And one common message I get for people as a reminder for them is that in the silence is where they're magical. In the silence is where they manifest. In the silence they connect to source. In that silence, in that being. Just do a little practice with me momentarily. I've done this a few times. All I want you to do is just close your eyes for a moment and just listen to my voice. Now, scientifically, the sound waves are coming out of my mouth. Through that speaker, the sound waves are hitting the little hairs in your inner ear and they're reverberating, and you can hear me. So you can hear me through that process. But how are you observing hearing me? And how do you perceive that you're observing hearing my voice? Open your eyes again. That place that you observe, that you're perceiving, or you could even interchange that you're perceiving my voice. And how do you observe you perceiving my voice? Because you think you're here. That's level one, but what happens is there's another level here. And that's the shapeless, formless, unbounded aspect. And then again, there's another place back from that. And when you hit that, you've got access to all that is, and it's so in your face that every answer, everything that you need to know is sitting in that space. But because it's not linearized and we're not educated on it, I just had a thought. I just had an idea. Now, sometimes that will be your higher self. Those thoughts, those ideas, those epiphanies, those concepts. Sometimes it can be a spirit guide. It could even be an extraterrestrial. It could be a master, a saint sage. It could be an angel. It could be even another fractal aspect of you. It could even be the divine. And so what I would invite people to do when they've got time, if they want to play with that technique, is first connect with the heart, even with the hand on the heart, and just feel breathing in and out of the heart, or sitting in that heart space and just breathe. Even without the focus of connecting on source, just connect with the heart, which to me is the physical manifestation of the core of the light blueprint aspect of yourself, which that is also a conduit and interfacing with the divine. Sitting just in that space, focusing on the heart, all of a sudden you hit this no mind, which is God's mind. You hit that zone, which is like daydreaming when you were daydreaming at school, or when you're swimming laps and all of a sudden you don't even know what you're doing, or you're driving a car for so long and you're like, that went quick, where did my mind go? You went to a higher state of consciousness that's beyond the five sense reality. Body goes on autopilot, you've hit the zone. If you know how to work with that zone, if you can understand that zone and be conscious that you're aware when you're hitting that zone, now you're in alignment with source. That's the space, that's the place. But you don't always want to sit there either, because we're here for the human experience. Use that as your check-in. Use that as your guidance when you need that guidance, because we're all gods within God experiencing itself. So we need to remember that we're here for a reason as well. So it's balance within that.
Thank you, Peter. And still, anything to add?
No, not that I can think of. Just treat others how you want to be treated, and be kind to yourself. Be the best you that you can be. Give a helping hand where you can. And just know that once this is all over, it's all good anyway. But we've got to make the best of our situation, because we've helped co-create this situation as a collective, but we're also individually and as a collective here to transform it, to see our potential. And we do that through connecting with the divine and acknowledging that we're all a spark of that divine source that we're all a part of. We've all got that within us. So I'll just leave it at that, Henning.
Yeah. personally, I wish everyone, to all, for all the best. And Peter, we spoke briefly before. I would kind of express, or would like to kind of express from a collective perspective, a gratitude, an appreciation, and a thank you for your responses and your work, and just saying thank you.
No. Right back at you. Thank you. And thank you to all.